Boxing Truth here. Let me bang out a quick video about Deontay Wilder, who has put a price out there on what's going to take for him to finally fight Dillian Whyte. He wants double of what he's been offered. He wants $7 million to fight Dillian Whyte. And this is a guy that says he doesn't care about the money. It's not about the money. He wants to prove that he's the best. So why is it going to take $7 million for you to come over to the UK to fight Dillian Whyte? I thought it wasn't about the money. I thought this wasn't about prize fighting. You just want to prove that you're the best. But it's going to take $7 million, double of what you've been offered to fight Dillian Whyte. You've been offered $3 million to come to the UK, to come to the O2 Arena in February to fight Dillian Whyte, plus American television rights. So that's a cool $4 million just in base pay. That's just your fight night guaranteed purse, not counting your sponsors and all the revenue streams that comes with it in boxing. That's just your fight night purse, double of what your fight night purses have been in the past, which is your usual 1.5, 2 million against the opponents you fought in America. You want the Joshua fight, obviously. You're begging for that fight. You're crying for it. You're claiming that Joshua's ducking, that Eddie Hearns is protecting Joshua from you. But yet you won't take your most meaningful fight to date. You won't take the fight that's actually on the table for you in Dillian Whyte. Whyte still needs to beat Hearns, of course, this week. But if he does, and the Joshua fight's not available, then why not take that fight, Deontay? Why fight a lesser opponent or less recognized name for only half of what you've been earning, or what you would have earned against Dillian Whyte? All you have to do is go over to the pond, go across the pond, make a statement, have a memorable fight, have a little bragging rights. I'm sure a lot of people will feel that you beat Dillian Whyte anyways. Some people will say you'll make easy work of him, but it still will be your most memorable fight to date because of how the event will be, the type of build-up it will be. If you knock him out, have a great performance, it only makes the Joshua fight even bigger. I mean, that's the point. I mean, Eddie Hearns has been on record. He's been consistent that he's going to wait until the summer of 2018 to make this fight. And Wilder's right about Eddie Hearns. He's looking for the best financial opportunity to make the most money out of this event. And he wants to stage the fight in the summer because he wants the fight to take place at Wembley. He wants 90,000 fans to be jam-packed into arena. He wants to maximize the revenue. So instead of fighting in February at the O2 Arena, he wants to stage a fight in the summer in front of 90,000 people on pay-per-view over there in what will be a big event. That's Eddie Hearns' plan. That's why he wants to stage it in the summer of 2018. In the meantime, he has a plan that not only will make the Joshua fight bigger if in the summer in 2018, but a chance for you to get a legitimate, decent win on your resume, a memorable fight on your resume, and also a chance to whip one of Eddie Hearns' fighters in his home soil, on his network, in Dillian Whyte. Here's Eddie Hearns' plan. Eddie Hearns obviously wants to make the biggest money possible. And he sees an opportunity where he feels that a Dillian Whyte rematch against Anthony Joshua in a unification fight is actually a bigger fight than Wilder versus Joshua. My UK followers help me out here. Y'all can answer this question for yourselves. What's a bigger fight in the UK? Joshua versus Wilder, or Joshua versus Dillian Whyte in a rematch in a unification fight, say Dillian Whyte beats Wilder in February, which does more business? Which does more pay-per-view buys on Sky Sports box office? I'm sure a lot of you are going to say a rematch with Dillian Whyte. Just what it is. So that's what Eddie Hearns' plan is. He feels a rematch in a unification between Joshua and Whyte is a bigger fight than Wilder versus Joshua. Now, if Whyte doesn't beat Wilder in February, if they fight in February, and Whyte loses, it's all good for Eddie Hearn. Then he has Wilder to fight Joshua in a fight where, in a unification fight, that will be even a bigger event, since Wilder will have performed on UK soil against a Matchroom promoted fighter in a big event. He wins the fight, so now it makes the Joshua build up to the fight. It makes Wilder have some momentum going into the fight, because right now Wilder has no momentum. None. He don't got shit. He's had a trash 2017. Got outboxed for 5 rounds by a football player. Lands a few punches. Stops Gerald Washington. Doesn't fight for 9 months. Pretends that he wants to fight Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz forgets to put the medications he was taking, so he gets ousted for that fight. Ends up fighting Stavern in a rematch, an undesirable rematch, as a mandatory. And this is going to be his 39th pro fight. And we're all still waiting for him to step up. And people are pushing this Wilder Joshua fight down our throats as this is the big super fight of the century. And it's not. Wilder needs some momentum. He needs a memorable win. He needs a memorable event to participate in. He needs to do something to make this fight a little more juicier. Wilder's just waiting for the payday, waiting for this big fight to fall in his lap. He doesn't want to do his part. He doesn't want to participate in memorable fights. He's putting a price tag of what it will take for him to fight Dillian Whyte. Man, just fucking do something. Just do something significant before you fight Joshua. That's all Eddie Hearn wants from you. He feels Whyte can whip your ass. And if you prove him wrong, he's willing to give you Joshua and what was the expected date of that fight anyways. He wants to do it in the summer to put it at Wembley, because that's where it'll do the biggest business for Eddie Hearn, since he's all about maximizing the revenues for his events. You beat Whyte at the O2 Arena in February, you get a career-high payday. It definitely will be your career-high payday because of the revenue streams involved when you deal with Eddie Hearn. What type of business can you do over in the U.S. against any other opponent? Any lesser name that you're thinking about fighting if you get past Stavern in November? Let's look at the rankings. I know who you're going to fight next after you beat Stavern. I'm hoping Stavern knocks you out. I mean, Stavern is saying he's guaranteeing a win. He's gonna show the boxing world that it was a fluke. I hope Stavern is right. I hope he knocks you the fuck out and that you do retire, because no one will miss you anyways. It will be one of the most forgettable reigns in heavyweight history. One of the most forgettable campaigns ever in boxing. Deontay Wilder, 39-1. 38-1, 37 KOs. Gets knocked out in a rematch by Stavern, the guy he took the title from, after 5 voluntary defenses. Didn't get the big fight. Didn't fight anybody significant. Failed to defend his claim as champion. I hope Stavern knocks you the fuck out, but it's highly unlikely. I'm definitely not going to place any type of wager on Stavern. I have no confidence in him, even though he's guaranteeing a victory. But most likely you'll get past Stavern. And who are you going to fight? You're going to fight Dominic Brazil at the Barclays Center for your usual $1.52 million base pay. Brazil will actually be an upgrade to your previous opponents. To be honest, he would be an upgrade. There'll be a little storyline, a little beef there, but it's not as significant or nowhere near as lucrative as a fight with Dillian Whyte would be. That will be a game changer for your career. There will be more limelight. There will be more of a build-up. There will be a gloves are off program for you guys to build a fight. Whyte will talk so much shit. He'll call you a fraud. He'll call you a cherry picker and a chump champion that takes 2 years to make mandatory defenses against a guy he already beat. Imagine the build-up between Wilder and Whyte if Whyte gets past Hernandez later this week. It will be something significant. It will be something memorable. It will make you want to tune in because Whyte is going to do his part of the promotion. He's going to talk hella trash, and he's going to instill fear into Deontay Wilder. He's going to make you feel that Wilder is legitimately scared of Dillian Whyte, and that he wanted no parts of him, not even for a cool $4 million to come over. It's going to take $7 million for Wilder to come to the UK to fight Dillian Whyte. And Wilder's right. He doesn't need to fight Dillian Whyte. He's not the mandatory, but he is the most significant fight out there for Wilder, other than Joshua. And then from what it appears, Hearns is going to be consistent with his statements. He's going to wait until the summer for a potential Joshua Wilder fight. Joshua, it's up in the air of what he has to do next if he beats Carlos Takam, which most likely he will. He might have to make another mandatory defense against an opponent rated by WBA. He might have to fight the next guy in line in the WBA rankings. It's all up to the WBA. If he doesn't have to make a mandatory, then he's possibly going to do a unification, or perhaps fight the winner of David Haye versus Tony Bellew. If David Haye wins that fight, it's very possible Joshua will go after David Haye. Or he may have to make a mando with the WBA. So Joshua, he's got some plans lined up for his next title defense or fight in February. It's not gonna be against Wilder. The fight will happen, if it does happen, in the middle of late 2018. Though Joshua has a lot of plans, he could sign with HBO. Networks could delay the fight. You never know. This is boxing. You really can't plan too far ahead, since anything can materialize. But if you can't get AJ next, which is most likely not going to get next, then why not just fight Dillian Whyte? Why fight Dominic Brazil? Why cherry pick a weak opponent in WC rankings? You better not fucking fight Charles Martin either. He's rated number 10. It's enough of these bullshit fights, man. Let's do something memorable. Let's have a memorable build-up. Let's have a memorable Deontay Wilder fight. If you can't get Joshua next, then why the fuck not Dillian Whyte? You answer me that question. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.